This is horse leather and not cow or goat leather. The difference is immediately visible in the tightness of the grain pattern.
The tight grain structure makes horse leather dense and strong. This density is the foundation of its durability.
Made entirely from the finest horse leather, this boot represents the seamless transition from raw hide to finished masterpiece.
$1,200 for this pair.
Horse leather boots are built for work and riding, and that this durability comes directly from the dense fiber structure of the hide. Where does this leather actually come from? This massive operation supplies hides to the leather industry. Most horse leather comes from farms like this, primarily located in Europe and South America. After a horse lives its full life, the hide is saved. Nothing in this process is wasted or treated without respect. Salt is poured immediately to preserve the hide. This traditional preservation method has been used for centuries to prevent decay and prepare hides for transport. Nothing is wasted. The meat goes to food, while the hide becomes leather. It's the complete utilization of each animal in responsible agricultural practice. Today we'll follow the full journey, from the horse farm to the finished boot.
Inside the horse leather factory, full manufacturing process.
Horse leather is different from cow leather. We begin a detailed comparison explaining the unique properties that make horse leather special for boot making. The fibers here are tighter and far more dense than cow leather. This density is the key to why Arabian horse leather boots last for decades of hard use.
Reasons. Cow leather fibers are looser and spongy, and that this structure, while perfectly adequate for many applications, does not.
Horse leather stretches very little, and this dimensional stability is what allows boots to maintain their shape and fit for decades of regular use. This means the boot holds its shape for decades, and that the minimal stretch of horse leather prevents the sagging and bagging that affects cow leather boots after extended wear.
Riders prefer horse leather boots because the material's density and minimal stretch provide better support and protection during long hours in the saddle.
The stirrup rubs constantly during riding, and cow leather would wear out fast. This makes horse leather the superior choice for active riders.
Horse leather is also very water resistant, and the tight fibers do not allow water to pass through easily, making these boots practical for outdoor use in wet conditions.
The tight fibers do not let water pass through. Horse leather's density creates natural water resistance without requiring chemical treatment or coating.
Horse leather is also hard to scratch, and this scratch resistance keeps boots looking newer longer, even with regular use in rough conditions. Most scratches rub out with your thumb. This self-healing property is unique to dense leathers like horse leather, which can recover from minor surface damage. Smooth finished leather is used for dress boots. This type of horse leather accepts polish and maintains a high shine, prized in formal equestrian settings. The second type of horse leather is rough out, where the fuzzy side goes outside. This texture is chosen for work boots where durability matters more than appearance. Rough out is ideal for work boots because it hides scratches well. The fuzzy texture conceals surface marks that would be obvious on smooth leather. The most expensive part is called shell cordovan. It comes from a specific small area of the hide, making it exceptionally rare and valuable. Shell cordovan comes from the horse's butt, only 2 small pieces per horse. This makes the material incredibly rare and expensive, costing thousands of dollars for boots. Shell cordovan boots typically start at $2,000. This price reflects the extreme rarity of the material and the specialized skill required to craft them. Now the video will go inside the tannery, marking the transition from hide sourcing to the industrial transformation process. The first step is sorting, and each hide is graded to determine which production stream it will follow based on its characteristics and quality level. The hides go into large drums with clean water, and they soak for 2 days to remove salt and dirt and to rehydrate the hides for further processing.
The hides soak for 2 full days to remove salt and dirt. This extended soaking time is crucial for.
Next, in the liming stage, lime and other chemicals are added to the drums. This begins the crucial process of removing hair and preparing the hides for tanning.
This process removes every hair from the hide, leaving the surface completely clean and ready for the next processing steps.
The hide goes through a fleshing machine, and sharp blades remove all fat and flesh, leaving only the clean hide structure that will become leather. Sharp blades remove all fat and flesh. This step is critical because any remaining tissue would cause defects in the finished leather. Now the hide is clean and ready for tanning, marking the completion of the preparation phase and the transition to the actual tanning process. The hide goes into pickling drums with acid, and that this acidic environment prepares the hide to accept the tanning chemicals that will stabilize the protein structure. The pH is lowered to prepare for tanning, and precise pH control is essential because the chemistry of tanning only works within a specific pH range. Most horse leather is chrome tanned, and this method produces consistent, high-quality leather that is soft, strong, and resistant to heat and water. Chrome powder and water go into the drum, and that the chromium reacts with the hide proteins to create stable leather that will not decay or decompose. The hide rotates for 8 hours, and this extended processing time allows the chrome to bond completely with the hide. The leather emerges as wet blue, a distinctive turquoise shade. The tanning process makes the hides incredibly.
The sammying machine squeezes out excess water, and that this mechanical dewatering prepares the leather for the splitting and shaving operations that will follow.
The top becomes grain leather for boots, and that this layer contains the dense fiber structure that gives horse leather its durability and water resistance.
A splitter cuts the leather into layers, separating the top grain from the lower layers that will become split leather for different products.
This split leather becomes rough out or suede. It is typically thinner than the top grain, measuring approximately 1 millimeter, used where a textured surface is preferred.
Now the leather goes into retanning drums, and this step adds the final properties that make the leather suitable for boot making.
Oils, waxes, and dyes are added here. These additives determine the final softness, strength, and appearance of the finished leather.
This makes the leather soft and strong. The fat liquoring step is essential for leather used in boots and other flexible products.
The leather hangs on racks to dry for 2 days, and that this slow drying process prevents the leather from becoming hard or brittle. After drying, the leather heads to the staking machine. This mechanical softening is crucial, even after fat liquoring.
The staking machine with pounding fingers works the leather soft, and that this mechanical action breaks the fiber bonds that form during drying.
Thousands of fingers pound the leather soft, and that this mechanical action is what gives finished leather its supple drape and comfortable feel. The horse leather is now ready for boot making, marking the transition from the tannery to the boot factory.
The finished horse leather arrives at the boot factory, and the material will now undergo a second round of inspection before cutting begins. Every sheet is inspected for defects. This second inspection catches any issues that may have been missed at the tannery or that occurred during shipping. A light table shows every scar and vein, and this final inspection step ensures that only perfect leather is used for premium boot production.
Patterns for the boot are laid out carefully, and that the arrangement of patterns on each leather sheet determines how many boots can be cut from each hide.
The marker arranges pieces to waste nothing, and this skill can affect material costs by 20% or more for a boot factory.
The back has the tightest fibers for the boot shaft, and this anatomical knowledge guides pattern placement for premium boot making.
A die cutting machine presses steel dies through, and one press cuts the exact shape of each piece, eliminating the need for hand cutting.
One press cuts the exact shape of each piece. These cut pieces are now ready for the skiving, stitching, and assembly steps.
Next is skiving, and the edges are made thinner to reduce bulk, where multiple layers of leather overlap in the finished boot.
The skived edge is half the thickness. This reduction allows the boot maker to join multiple layers without creating uncomfortable bulges inside the finished boot.
Cow leather lining is cut for the inside, and this lining material protects the horse leather from sweat and adds comfort without adding excessive bulk. The lining pieces are sewn together first, and that this inner lining provides a smooth, comfortable surface against the wearer's leg and foot.
The outer horse leather is glued to the lining. This bonding prevents the layers from shifting independently during boot assembly.
A roller press presses them flat, and that this mechanical bonding ensures there are no bubbles or loose areas between the leather layers. The boot shaft is stitched on a postbed machine, and this specialized equipment is essential for the three-dimensional construction of tall boot shafts. Horse leather is very thick. The machine must be powerful enough to push the needle through without damaging the leather or breaking the thread. Many boots have decorative stitching on the shaft, and this stitching is purely aesthetic, adding beauty without affecting the structural integrity of the boot. This work requires a very steady hand, and experienced bootmakers spend years developing the fine motor control needed for consistent stitching. The shaft is now complete and ready for the lasting and soling steps that will turn the shaft into a finished boot. Next, the boot is lasted over a foot mold, and that this step determines how the boot will fit and feel when worn. This mold is called a last, and that every size has its own last, ensuring consistent fit across the full-size range of boots produced by the factory. The leather is pulled tight and nailed in place, and this tension is what gives the boot its structure and prevents it from sagging during wear. The heel area is carefully shaped, and this handwork ensures a secure fit that holds the foot in the correct position inside the boot. The toe is smoothed with a hammer, and this hand tapping compresses the leather slightly to create a clean, streamlined toe profile.
The upper is now fully formed. The next steps will add the sole and heel to create a wearable boot.
A leather sole layer is glued to the bottom, and this leather midsole adds structure and allows for welt stitching that will attach the sole permanently.
Welt stitching attaches the sole to the upper, and this traditional construction method allows boots to be resoled multiple times, extending their useful life.
A rubber sole is glued on for grip, and this outer sole is the part that contacts the ground and can be replaced when worn down.
The heel is built from stacked leather layers, and this stack construction allowed the heel height to be customized and replaced when worn down. 1, 2.
Each layer is nailed and glued, and this combination of mechanical and chemical bonding creates a heel that will not separate even after years of hard use. The heel is sanded smooth on a machine, and this shaping step gives the heel its final profile before finishing. The excess sole material is trimmed away. This final shaping gives the boot its clean, finished appearance along the sole edge.
Blurst. The boot is pulled off the last carefully, revealing the finished boot as a complete wearable product. The worker examines it.
The lining is smooth and comfortable, and this attention to interior detail is what distinguishes premium boots from mass-produced alternatives.
That all raw leather edges are painted, and that this edge finishing is what gives premium boots their polished, professional look.
The entire boot is buffed with a soft wheel, and this final mechanical polishing brings out the natural luster of the horse leather.
A light coat of wax is applied for protection, and that this final treatment helps the boots resist stains and maintain their appearance with minimal care.
A horsehair brush brings out the shine, and this traditional polishing tool has been used for centuries to achieve the highest quality finish on fine leather. The boot is bent to test flexibility. This final quality check confirms that it will move naturally with the wearer's foot without binding or restriction. This is the final product. The journey from raw horsehide to this luxury boot is now complete, demonstrating the full transformation.
Horse leather is stronger than cow leather, and this comparison shows why horse leather is preferred for applications where durability is the highest priority.
As you can see, horse leather costs 2 to 3 times more than cow leather, reflecting its rarity and the additional processing required.
Would you wear horse leather boots? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Subscribe now for more exclusive factory tours and manufacturing process videos just like this one.